With that, let's bring in Tom Fitton, president of Judicial Watch. And Tom, I think that some Trump supporters may be a little bit disappointed by this trial because it's really not about whether or not the Clinton campaign crafted this lie tying Trump to Russia and then fed that lie to the FBI and the media. It's about whether or not Michael Sussmann lied to the FBI about him working for the Clinton campaign. It's being called very narrow in scope. So where do things go from here?
Well, as has been discussed, there's a lot of evidence that's come up in the run-up to this trial in this case that highlight Hillary Clinton's campaign direct involvement in these big lies and in, frankly, spying on Trump in the White House, potentially. So that's pretty dramatic. And this is her top lawyer. There were two top lawyers for her campaign. One's testifying and the other's on trial. So it's really hard for Hillary Clinton to escape accountability, however limited, as you highlight, in this case for the criminality targeting President Trump. I mean, to me here, the irony here is that the FBI is coming off as the victim of the Clinton campaign, certainly this lawyer, Mr. Sussmann, when in fact, who was the victim but Donald Trump? He was the victim of a crime. And this is all going to be playing out for the American people. And it's been playing out for years. And now someone may go to jail as part of this criminal conspiracy against President Trump.
Let's do a quick synopsis of what brought us to this point. Rodney Jaffe is a tech exec accused of giving Michael Sussmann data from Trump administration computers. He's there on the left. Michael Sussmann brought the FBI unverified evidence that may have connected Trump Tower with Russia's Alpha Bank. He's charged with one count of lying to investigators. And there she is, accused of denying his involvement, of course, with the Clinton campaign. And there's Hillary Clinton there on the right. What stood out to me, Tom, is what Brooke mentioned in her piece, what Andrew McCarthy, former federal prosecutor, mentions here. He says the following, quote, Durham will have enough evidence to prove the narrow crime he's charged. The biggest challenge may be the jury. In Trump hostile Washington, Durham may be the government's lawyer, but this will not be a home game for him. Do you share his worry there that Durham's case just got a lot harder based upon the venue they're in?
Well, as Brooke reported, two jurors that are presumably anti-Trump or, they confess they're not friendly to Republicans or Donald Trump. To the degree that this case remains narrow about whether Sussmann lied to this FBI lawyer, they may be able to achieve the desired result, which is to get a guilty verdict. The irony is that if the degree that Trump comes up more in this case, or even Hillary Clinton, the less likely Sussmann may see a guilty verdict. I'm disappointed that Durham didn't push for at least a conspiracy claim against others, including Hillary Clinton. And he talked about this joint venture operation. And many people don't understand this, but Hillary Clinton's campaign and the DNC and Fusion GPS, their operation, all fought the release of records about what they knew and when, about what Sussmann was doing and this operation that they were pursuing against President Trump. But some of this information may come out now because if it may not come up in trial, but it may come out subsequent to this because the documents were handed over in part to Durham.
Yeah, you say that you're disappointed that Sussmann didn't push for the conspiracy claim. And as of now, you have what's going on with Michael Sussmann. We've gone over that. Then you have the former FBI attorney, Kevin Klein-Smith. He admitted to altering an email used to seek a FISA warrant against Carter Page. I think many of us remember that happening. And then you have what's going on with Igor Danchenko, who is being accused of lying to the FBI for his work on the Steele dossier. That's pretty much it. And all of those people really are on the periphery of what happened. It's not Hillary Clinton. It doesn't really come very close to her. Why is that?
I think Hillary Clinton is a protected person here in Washington, D.C. 3 years, 3 indictments, 3 prosecutions, not exactly the strongest record given the resources put in place here. And there's no doubt what went on. And, in my view, is where was Hillary Clinton brought before a grand jury? Was Obama? Was Biden? They were all involved in these discussions about the targeting of Trump, and they all knew the allegations were false. And they went to the FBI, they went to the CIA. In the case of Obama and Biden, they authorized action against Trump. And there's been zero accountability, at least from Durham's side, in terms of at least asking them questions. I'm not even sure if they've been asked questions, let alone gone before grand jury, by the Durham operation.
Timing of all this pretty curious. Midterms are right around the corner. Obviously, we're focused on primaries today. Going forward, what dominoes do you expect to fall following the Sussmann trial?
Well, you know, if this is the beginning, I think many of us will be happy. If it's the end, they'll be disappointed. Next up would be a Durham report that will further expose the issues that we've been talking about. And the big question is Hillary Clinton going to run for office, and is Donald Trump going to be her opponent?
Wow.
And will this issue come up? And Donald Trump has been vindicated in the sense that he was right. He was spied upon, and it was the worst government corruption scandal in American history. And people are going to jail over it, or could go to jail over it.
Tom Fitton, we appreciate your insight.
Thanks,
as always.
Tom.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.